So I've just finished part 1 of this video. We're now doing part 2 because I need to get it recorded as soon as I can get it out to you lot. This is part 2 of my Premier League review. We're going to go a little bit quicker this time. We've got Wolves who finished at 10th place. There's only Nuno left at the end of last season. They brought in a bloke I'd never heard of, Bruno Lage. I live in Wolves. I don't think anyone here knew much about him other than what they read on the internet. They had lost Jota the previous season. Traore was in and out of the team. His form was up and down. He left in January for Barca. They brought through the lad Max Kilman as a regular at centre back. Done bloody brilliant, to be fair. He's been injured for a bit now, and that's what coincided with their form dropping a little bit. But Jimenez struggled for a long time to find any decent form. Neto was out most of the season. Pedence is useful. Neves, another good season. Moutinho's getting on. They don't spend a lot of money, Wolves now, and that is their biggest issue. They have useful players that remain Size, who I think is on his way out. Is it him or Johnny on their way out? I've seen it recently. I think it's Size. And if it is, I think that's a massive blow. He's been brilliant for Wolves. For some reason I thought it was Johnny who said he could be going, but I think it was remain Size. Bolly, he's not really in the team too much anymore. Semedo, I've not been that impressed with Nelson Semedo. I think they were better when Doherty were there. But overall, I'm going to give Wolves, they were pushing for Europe at one point. There was talk of possibly getting like to the top 7, top 8, top 7. They finished 10th due to injuries and just a really bad drop off in form. I'm going to give Wolves a 6. Wasn't terrible. A terrible season, but in a 4 or a 5. It could have been a lot better than what it was. Huang came and did well early on and needs to find his form again. I think Bruno Lage knows he needs some signings and hopefully he's backed. So yeah, a 6 for Wolves. Brighton in 9th. What an end to the season they had. Beat West Ham in the last game. Beat Battered United basically at the Amex. And a few other good results thrown in there as well. Very tough team to play against. Not a star-studded team. You got Lamptey, decent player. You got Cucurella, who I'd never heard of before this season. I think it was when he signed. Now he's been linked with Man City. Danny Welbeck, when fit, will get you goals. Mopai, not so much. Lallana's in there, etc, etc. Yves Bissouma could be on his way. He's been linked over the last 18 months with a move away. Yeah, this day they got to the top 10. That is a good season for Brighton and Hove Albion. They won 12 games, drew 15, lost 11. I'm going to give Brighton a... If Wolves got a 6, and I thought that was a poor season for Wolves, I'm going to give Brighton a 7. I think they had a very good end to the season. Leicester in 8th. Bloody hell, where did that form come from? Beat Southampton, beat Chelsea. Who else did they beat? This is their last few games. I honestly think it's down to no pressure of Europe. Once they went out of the Europa League, they just seemed to play a lot better. Like the results really picked up for Leicester. They've had a lot of injuries this season. Fofana was out most of the season. They brought in Vestergaard, who didn't make any sort of impact that I was expecting. Vardy's been in and out of the team. Maddison's form has picked up but was pretty poor at the beginning. The Dewsbury Hall, I'd never heard of him before this season. Their left back, I think it is, has just been called on to the England team. Fair play to him. The young left back is now in the England squad under Southgate. There was like he'll definitely go. But now they finished 8th. That is a good finish for Leicester City. And I think they can push on. Actually, I say that I don't think they can finish higher than 8th next season. And look who finished above them: West Ham, United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. I honestly think right now, especially if West Ham strengthen this in this window, I think currently Leicester will be fine out for Newcastle for 8th place next season. I don't see Leicester getting any higher than 8th, and there's no real reason why they should finish much outside the top 10 if they keep that team together. West Ham in 7th. What a season David Moyes had. Semi-final of the Europa League. Could have been playing in the final against Rangers, and what a final that would have been. Yeah, what a great season. What I've seen at West Ham, I do believe Selchuk's form dropped a lot. He hardly scored any goals this season. Rice's form improved, if that was even possible. There was no hang-up after the Euros. Just kicked on and was even better for West Ham. Antonio's form just went off the boil big time this season. It was terrible. I think he's ran himself into the ground early on. They did bring in a strike, didn't they? But he didn't really kick on. I forgot who that was. Vlasic, was it? Something like that. Didn't kick on. I think it's Vlasic. I can't remember. Jared Bowen, what a player. He's rightfully been called up to his England team, and I would not be surprised to see him get a big move. And by that, I say a big move, and Arsenal would be a big move for him. Because regardless of what West Ham fans want to think, Arsenal are bigger than West Ham. So it would definitely be a big move for Bowen, and I think he'd slot him pretty brilliantly there. Whether or not any team is willing to match what West Ham want for him, though, that's the problem, isn't it? Also, the young right back. Is it right back? I think so. Young right back they brought through under Moyes. What a good young player he is. I can't remember his name. I apologise, but I've seen him a couple of times. He's bloody brilliant. So West Ham season reached the Europa Cup semi-final. Beat the likes of Lyon and Sevilla. Was it Sevilla they beat? I know they went to Betis. Did they? My mind's a bloody blur. They beat Sevilla, didn't they? Yeah, West Ham season. I'm going to give them a 8.5. And that'll be a higher score than some of the teams above them. But what a season they had. Man United, let's get the score out there. I'm going to give them a 4. And that's being generous. United are shite. We've been absolutely awful. Am I excited about Ten Hag? Hell yeah. I'm very excited about Ten Hag going in. It can't get any worse than it did this season. It just can't. Some of the stories I've heard this morning about Rangnick's tenure at the club, I'll talk about in another video. But holy hell, we started with Ollie, we then ended up with Carrick, then Rangnick, and now they've all gone, and we can get back to some normality and a proper manager in Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, the future's bright. The future's Eric. I can't wait. But this season, awful, awful, awful. I don't want to go into the players. I don't want to talk about them. That's how bad we've been. I think I'm being generous giving them a 4. Sod it, they get a 3 from me. Joint worst with Watford. Seems fair to me. Next, we have Arsenal in 5th. Now, Arsenal surprised a lot of people, mainly because I'm not expecting them to get into the top 5 and be pushing for the Champions League like they were. Saka, what a player. What a great young player Saka is. Ben White came in, done alright. He's not been a failure. I think he's got the potential to be a lot better. But I need to eat my hat again the little bits I've seen, I've seen a lot of him. Tierney, very injury prone. Tavares, again, I've not seen a lot of him. But Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, Odegaard has been very good for them. And he'll grow into a very mature, very, very good player. Odegaard will. He's only a young lad still. I remember when Real Madrid signed him as a 16-year-old or something like that. He was like this great young star signed for Real Madrid. He's just a kid, but he's still in this. But yeah, at Arsenal this season has been brilliant. They do need to strengthen, of course they do. Partey's been good. Granit Xhaka has stepped up this season for Arsenal, no doubt about that. But yeah, I don't like Arteta. I can't be asked to him at all. Like when they got battered by Tottenham a few weeks ago when he came out and blamed on the ref. No mate, just accept that your defender, who was in Villa, my bad, I said in the last video that Rob Holding was at Villa, isn't he? It's Callum Chambers. Rob Holding is at Arsenal. And he acted like a right tit and got sent off against Tottenham and let his side down big time. But yeah, Arsenal's score overall for the league, forget the cups, they didn't do very well now, I don't think. For the league form and finishing 5th, they did have a little period out 3 games, which they lost all of them. So like Palace and a couple of teams that cost them 4th place. And Tottenham went a good run. I'm going to give Arsenal a respectable 7.5. There's potential to get up to an 8.5 this coming season if they improve in the right areas. And there's no reason why they can't get top 4 next season, but it'll be between them and Chelsea, because I think Tottenham, I say that, I'm thinking about United here. I think top 4 next season will be City, Liverpool, Tottenham, United, and that's without even seeing their squads for next season. That's my opinion. So it'll be between Arsenal and Arsenal and Chelsea, who finish 5th and 6th. So I think Chelsea could be in for a bit of a rude awakening next season. Anyway, Tottenham 4th place. What can you say? Nuno came in, Nuno left. Nuno was shocking. Kane was going to leave, Kane stayed. Kane was brilliant. Son was never going to leave, and he got joint golden boot with Mo Salah, and he's been fantastic. Son has. And Tottenham have been wiping the floor with the last few opponents and got themselves a 4th place finish under Conte, who after saying I want to go, I want to stay, I don't know if I'm going to go, I don't know if I want to stay, all the time, every game he kept saying this stuff. Now he's finally got settled. Kulusevski signing of the season, like 10 goals and 7 assists or something like that in 17 games or something stupid, something daft like that. What a signing. Bentancur, another good signing. Romero, another good signing. Yeah, they have a lot going for him at Tottenham going forward. Hove, Doherty can be better. Ben Davies at his age is still going strong. Reguilon could leave. Lloris is staying. Eric Dyer's going well this season. But yeah, I'm very excited for Tottenham going forward. Kulusevski, what a signing. And Bentancur. And Romero. I can't believe how good them 3 signings were. And the fact that they're going to get Fraser Forster on a free as a backup keeper. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, I'm going to give Tottenham an 8 for how they finished the season. Yeah, an 8 for Tottenham. Next we'll do the top 3 teams. Okay, wow, my hair's getting bloody messy now. What the hell's going on here? Now, in all honesty, I'm going to give Tuchel a 10 and Chelsea a 5. So let me explain my thinking here. The way Tuchel managed that club, so he had an owner who was being made to sell the club by the British government. He had Rudiger on his way out, Christensen refusing to play games and on his way out, Alonso apparently going, Aspilicueta possibly going, a £90 million striker who has been a massive flop for Chelsea. Let's not butcher it up. Lukaku's been a big flop after doing so well for Inter. Came back to Chelsea in the Premier League and been a huge flop. He brought in Saul Niguez, another flop. One of the worst of the season in terms of transfers. I know he's only a loan deal, but Christ, he's been bad. But yeah, I think Tuchel has done a stellar job as managing the club the best he could. Got to 2 finals, don't forget, and was unlucky to go out the Champions League to Real Madrid. But the club in general, the way they finished 3rd place, I thought they'd be one of the teams pushing for the top 2. They never really looked in any danger of challenge for the top 2 in the end. Yeah, I just think it's been a bit of a shit season really in the end for Chelsea. Promised so much and delivered so little. Mason Mount had his periods where he was great and then poor, great and then poor. Fernandes found a bit of form, which you had to put as Tuchel as well. But yeah, I'm going to go with a 10 for Tuchel and a 5 for the club. Sounds about right to me. I like that he's brought through the young lad Chalobah. He's given, obviously Rich James has been a regular week in, week out. Kante's had injuries, issues with him, and Jorginho, will he stay, will he go? So yeah, well done Tuchel, or not so well done Chelsea. Liverpool. I will give Liverpool a 10. This is a Liverpool side that got to 3 cup finals. They've already won 2, could potentially win a 3rd. This video might go out after the Champions League final. Yes, as I was saying, they may have already won a 3rd cup final by now. Pep and Man City gets a 1 cup final, not the Champions League, not the League Cup, not the FA Cup. I also count the final day of the Premier League a cup final. Most seasons I wouldn't, but this went down to if Liverpool win and City down, Liverpool win the cup in the league. So it was like a cup final to Liverpool. The fact that they've gone all the way with City, despite losing Mane and Salah for about a month due to the AFCON. I can't knock them. I wish I could. I wish there's something I could say. No, Liverpool are shite. But I can't. The fact that he's bringing in his young lad, this Luis Diaz, I'd heard of him, not seen much of him. Fantastic. Jota didn't look like this guy playing at Wolves. Fantastic. Canate still settling in. Matip still going bloody brilliant. Trent, what the hell? Minamino stepping up, getting a couple of important goals. Origi getting important goals. The lads, I don't think the midfield's that great though. Fabinho, yes. Thiago, yes. The step-ins, no. So Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, one or two others, Curtis Jones. They're not top of the range midfielders. So for them to be where they are and to have done as well as they have, fair play Klopp and Liverpool, and they get a 10 from me. City, they've had to win the league, they've had to be better than Liverpool all season, they've had to beat Villa when they were 2-0 down at home and come back and win 3-1. I'm going to give them a 9. A 9 out of 10 for me. For Man City. They have been fantastic, but not as good as Liverpool. Nowhere near. In my honest opinion, anyways. So yeah, a 9 for Man City. Grealish has been a huge flop, £100 million flop. De Bruyne has been brilliant. Laporte, Diaz, Stones, really good. Cancelo, amazing. Edison has been great, but we just get used to it now with Edison. Edison is just what he does. Rodri's had a good season. Foden, really, really good season. Jesus has come in and done really well. Mahrez, Sterling, yeah, great. And they've done all this without a recognised striker. So fair play in that respect. And now they've got Haaland, and I think it could be a step back for them. I really think the way they play will be affected by the Haaland signing. I think they get a lot of goals.